Hey there, everybody. PTPOP here with all four lobes of my brain securely bound behind my back, and welcome to another episode of Call Center Survivor. Today, I'm going to play you a recording of my trainer from my most recent call center job telling us all customer service doesn't have any place to sit. They didn't have desks for us and won't for about 5 weeks or more. Stay tuned. Hey there, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Call Center Survivor. I appreciate all of your patronage. If you like my videos, if you like my message here, give me the thumbs up, punch the subscribe button, tell your friends and relatives about my channel, especially those of you who have suffered in the shark-infested waters of call center work and employment. And if you want to support my channel, that's the easiest, the most inexpensive way to do it. It's free. All it takes is a little button push with a mouse. Boom. Like that. Boom. Oh, geez, I just helped Pete. Boom. Oh, it was that simple. Oh, I subscribed. Wow. That was that. And it'll make you feel good. It'll give you shivers. If you have the extra cash and you want to join here for a membership for behind the scenes shots of my videos, sign up here. I also have a Patreon channel with a podcast and behind the scenes footage on there. So enough of the shameless self-promotion. Let's proceed with our story today. So as I told you a couple of weeks ago, I took a job with the call center, and on my first day of training, the trainer announced to us all that what I can't even say it. It's so shocking to me that they had no place for any of us to sit. They did have a call center within the building, but all the seats were occupied. There was no place to put us. So the upper echelons of this company had approved a requisition for 6 new hires to the customer service department, but had no place to put us. Makes perfect good sense. And I told you that's the primary reason I walked out and resigned. I resigned that evening. And it was just, there was no place to sit. There was no place to put us. Another thing with this company is they didn't have a training room. They didn't have an actual training room for any of us to sit in. They moved us twice the first day. We were just in 2 different conference rooms. So what I do when I go into training or when I go into any meeting, I take my iPhone and I record the interview, where I record, different things. Not to be, sneaky, just, it's better than taking notes. And I go home and I transcribe it in Premiere Pro to pull out any information I need. So what you're going to hear in this recording is our trainer, who I compared to Charles Nelson Riley. And if you don't know who Charles Nelson Riley was, he was an actor, comedian, performer from the 70s, 60s, and 70s. He was always on TV shows like Match Game and Hollywood Squares. And in this recording, you're going to hear him say that there's not enough seats. There's no seats at all for anybody that they've just recently hired, myself included, in customer service. So I'm going to play that for you here. Now, I've altered the recording so you can't recognize this person's voice. I've sped it up. I've removed different names from the recording to protect the identity of the innocent, I guess, or of the innocent, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And I just happened to record the very moment that the trainer told us all that there's no place for us to sit. And that's what I'm going to play for you right here and now, my friends. Now, I'm going to stop and go with this. I have altered this person's voice, so you can't really tell who they are. I don't have his name in there. I don't have the name of the company I work for. So I'm trying to keep it as on the down low as possible, but take a listen to what this person has to say about the lack of seating.
I am the client services trainer. I think you saw in my email or a text that is the manager of training services. So he and I work together on training for the client services department. I believe we have close to 100 employees working in just our functional area. It is a relatively new area. A couple different areas came together.
I've edited it to eliminate the name of the company. the name of the trainer and the departmental manager. So if you hear things cut in and out, I've edited names out for privacy reasons.
I think this was about 6 months ago, and we moved into our fruit space. And as you heard, we're expanding so quickly that we are moving across the street, probably by the end of the month or sometime early June. So those of you that are delivery schedulers, has an actual workspace for you. Those of you that are concierge, or what we call client services representatives, and also processor, we don't have enough workstations currently for all of you, so we're going to be a little bit mobile. If you need a locker space here, we can look into that today. Like if you want to store your laptop and anything, we can get that arranged for you. So we thought, rather than having you get all set up in a workstation.
There's that laugh. Charles Nelson Riley is my trainer, my friends.
And then telling you that you have to pack everything up and move. We're in a little bit of a transition right now.
Okay, so this person says to us all of us neophytes, we've just been hired into this company. We were all told in the interview that there were seats for us. No one told us this was a brand new position. No one told us this was a new call center. No one told us that there'd be no place for us to sit and that there were no lockers for us. So in other words, instead of having us sit at one place for 5 to 6 weeks and have to pack up, they'd rather have us move day to day. We'd already moved twice in that first day of training. We had moved from one conference room to get us set up on our computers, to get us set up on our laptops and give us user IDs and LAN IDs. Then when that was done, they moved us over to another room. So we'd moved twice in one day because these conference rooms are reserved throughout the day so managers and executives can have meetings. So we had no place to sit. They assigned us a laptop and they had no place for us to put it. Now, this is not a laptop that I could take home. It was not a work from home position. It was on site. And I wasn't about to take a company, laptop home and risk the chance of getting broken or getting stolen or smashed and grabbed out of my car. So I'm thinking, where am I going to put the laptop? The whole thing was ridiculous. If you listen to the guy, he says there's no place for us to sit. This is a fast expanding company, right? So the other thing I found company is that they were supposed to release their first quarter earnings for 2024 on May 2nd, and they delayed the first quarter earnings until May 9th. And it turns out that their profits weren't quite where Wall Street had expected them to be. And based off the last quarter of 23 and this first quarter of 24, their overall earnings per share had dropped by 50%. Percentage-wise, I mean, their shares didn't drop. I mean, the value of the shares didn't drop by 50%, but the earnings per share dropped by 50%. Now, that's just what my wife's company was going through. And what did they do? They laid off 10% of their workforce. Now, my wife's company is different. They had just merged with another big company, and they had overspent. They spent more money than they thought it was going to cost them, and they had to have layoffs. But this company, for some reason, there's something wrong with the cash flow. Yes, I could have stayed. But when somebody has no place for me to sit, what am I supposed to do? Just sit there and... I mean, you all know this. If you go from one place to another, do you know how hard it would be to work there? I was only going to be in training 2 weeks, and he said we wouldn't have seats for at least 4 to 5 weeks. We were only supposed to be in training 2 weeks. Then they were going to have us do side-by-sides for a couple of weeks, but we were supposed to be on the phones during the side-by-sides. There was where are we going to take calls? They didn't even have headsets for us. So I wanted to give you proof of what really went on here and what this guy said. And it's the truth. I mean, who hires 6 new customer service representatives when they have no place to put them? They approve the head count, but don't have the workstations built out yet. And the other thing is, he said, and other people have said, that the call center was across the street. This headquarters was in the middle, literally in the middle of a cow pasture. It was in the middle of a giant nothing. There was a freeway nearby. There was a Costco across the street. And I asked this person in class, I said, the only thing across the street is a Costco. You say we're going to be in a call center, a brand new call center across the street that they're building, but the only thing over there I see is a Costco. I didn't answer. It didn't answer my question. They didn't offer to take us over there. And my wife and I had driven over there the day before. And we're like, wow, there's nothing over here. It was in the middle of nowhere. So they lied, number one. Number two, I saw no signs of a new structure being built. I saw no signs of a place where we could go in, like an empty office space where you could put a call center. And they didn't offer to take us over there and show it to us. Do they have to do all that? No. But the whole point is that the whole thing was shady at best. So listen to how nervous he gets when he talks about the new space.
And as you heard, we're expanding so quickly that we are moving across the street, probably by the end of the month or sometime early June.
So sometime early June, he's just like, he's very hesitant to commit to any date in the future because the higher-ups have probably said, just blow them off, push it out, don't tell them anything until we know for certain if we're going to get this building built, especially with our first quarter earnings not living up to Wall Street's expectations. And the other thing with this place was when you call their toll-free number, you get a busy signal for customer service. My wife and I both called from different phones at different times of the day and different times of the week, got busy signals.
So those of you that are delivery schedulers, has an actual workspace for you?
Delivery schedulers had an actual workspace, but customer service does not. Because delivery schedulers, what do? They're scheduling the product that they're delivering, and that's what keeps customers happy. They're going to get their products on time. That's more important than customer service. As I've always said, customer service, they say the customer's always right, but that's not true. They don't give a crap. Once you get your product, they don't give a crap. They put the customer service thing in there as an afterthought. The call center is built as an afterthought. They generally don't care because it costs them millions of dollars a year to run a call center.
You, those of you that are concierge or what we call client services representatives and also processor, we don't have enough workstations currently for all of you. So we're going to be a little bit mobile.
We're going to be a little bit mobile, meaning we're going to be moving from conference room to conference room, maybe taking calls in our car. I don't know. We're going to be a little bit mobile.
If you need a locker space here, we can look into that.
They didn't even have lockers for us. In the existing call center that they did show us, it was a small area, and they had a wall of like 20 lockers, like little tiny ones about this big. And they didn't even have lockers for us. So if they wanted us to hide our phones, who was going to do our phones? They want us to lock up our phones. They want where we're going to hang our coats. You know, all that stuff that these call centers, they don't let you take anything to your desk anymore.
Today, like if you want to start your laptop and anything, we can get that arranged for you. So we thought rather than having you get all set up, all set up, get all set up, you get all set up, and you get all set up, you get all set up. If you have to pack everything up and move, we're in a little bit of a transition.
So instead of having us sit in one place for 5 to 6 weeks, they'd rather have us pick up and move every single day. That's what's going to happen. We'd have to be in the one conference room, then the next day we'll be in a different conference room. Sometimes we'd have to move during the course of the day because these conference rooms are very busy. People go in there all the time for private meetings, for one-on-one coaching, for marketing sessions, for, CEOs. All these people use these conference rooms all day long. They're always booked way out in advance. So it makes no sense. So that is the trainer talking to all of us about how we don't have any place to sit, and they apparently didn't have any place for us to train either. They moved us around because at the end of the first day, we were in a second conference room, and he said at the end of the first day, he said, we're going to be sitting someplace else. We're going to be sitting on the other side of the building in another room. So they were just going to move us around and around and around until, I guess, this new call center allegedly was built across the street. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Give me the thumbs up. Tell people about the channel. You guys are great. I try to talk to each and every one of you and make you feel at home here. And, I appreciate your patronage. So thanks very much. Have a good day. And I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.